Hey everybody, it is me, the Apple Prodigy. I'm accompanied by Alexander, and we
What's
are
up?
this is episode 21 of the Movie Backlot podcast. Stephen isn't here today because he's at the dentist, so it's just going to be us two
Wh-
today.
Which sucks because now the podcast is able to drink legally.
Yeah,
That made no. That
well,
was
I'm 17.
a distraction.
It's
Well,
okay.
okay.
Let's just
It's
move on.
okay. It's okay. I'm sure there's a kiddie bar somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Okay, so let's get into the box office. First was Dawn of Planet of the Apes, thankfully, with 36 million. It was about a
Which
50% drop.
I predicted that it would stay number one because well, there was a movie that came out that we'll get to later. But this is good because one of the best movies of the summer
Yeah,
deserves to be number one again,
yeah,
especially after the embarrassment for the first 2 weeks of July,
yeah. And then
or the last week of June, first week of July.
yeah. Then second
So,
was Purge, Anarchy. Oh, oh,
like really quickly, like Dawn of the Planet, it's made $139 million domestically, and its budget is 170.
okay. So, but hasn't its international run not started yet because of the World Cup? That's
I
what I
have
heard.
no idea. I don't watch
Okay.
sports, so I
Okay.
don't know.
From what I read, it should be fine because it hasn't started its international run because everyone was so focused on the World Cup that it delayed movies like a month into a month.
Mm.
But because the U.S. doesn't
Uh,
care as much, we s-
well,
are
apparently they did. Apparently they did this year.
Oh well, yeah. Well, it happens every 4 years. Like I care about soccer. I watch a lot of soccer, but it's like they care during the World Cup, and then a month after the World Cup, no one cares, and it goes back to being like 3 million people care, not the 14
Mm.
million that watch the World Cup.
Okay.
But and then second was the Purge Anarchy. I didn't see the only movie I've seen in this top or in the top four was Dawn of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I
The Purge got 29.8. Did you get a chance to see
I
Purge?
did not see it. I didn't see the first Purge, but a friend of mine in college really suggested that I see the first one. So, but I just never got around to it. But
Okay.
yeah, this movie opened at number two, and this thing barely cost anything. It cost
They
nine
cost
million
nine
dollars to
million.
make. Yeah,
Yeah.
so this thing's a hit already.
Yeah. I had a chance to see this, but it was in the same night of the Guardians of the Galaxy 17-minute sneak preview, and I'm like, I'd
Oh.
rather go see that than go see a movie I probably won't even like.
When you paused, I thought you already saw the movie. I'm like,
No, no. I think most screenings are next week if there be one in my area. They haven't announced yet. The
right.
Captain America one they literally announced was the day before it happened. They only gave like 100 tickets,
Okay.
so I probably won't get it in early, which is fine. And then
Okay.
third is Planes, Fire and Rescue, 18 million, which was 4 million less than the first film. I didn't see it.
No, no, I didn't see it either because fuck planes.
Uh,
This thing cost 50 million, so it's gonna have to keep climbing to reach
yeah,
that budget.
it's gonna have to ascend because it's a plane.
You are still weak in the in
I
punning.
am.
Ugh.
I am.
And I'm weak in saying correct sentences.
Then fourth was Sex Tape. I didn't see this. I wanted to see it, but I was out of town on vacation last weekend. It had 15 million, which was half of what Bad Teacher got its opening
And
weekend. But I know that you saw it, so
it is
go ahead.
shitty. The second worst movie of the year so far.
Really?
Yes.
Uh,
For
sad.
me at least, because I know, like it is like that vacation saved your life. Huh?
Yeah, I got to miss out on the Purge, Planes, and Sex Tape.
It was a shitty weekend this weekend. This past weekend I got to admit. Huh?
Yeah, when I was looking, I looked on Friday, at the Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, oh, I wonder what the movies got. There was of the new releases, there was not a single fresh rating.
Yep.
The highest one was Purge. I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
I don't know. I heard people say the Purge Anarchy is better than the first one.
yeah, that's what I've heard. I know some people have seen it and they liked it, but they also like movies I didn't like. So I don't know, take that with a grain of salt. But it seems a lot of people on Twitter that haven't gone to my school liked it. So
Yeah. Speaking of movies that a lot of people seem to like that I don't.
Transformers: Age of Extinction with $15 million. And I think it's
Age of my ass.
I'm pretty sure its worldwide gross is upwards of 850 million, so it's gonna break $1 billion at the box office.
Fuck that. Not if I can help it. I'll go out and
boycott.
No, I'll go out there and cut some bitches. But yeah, this if anyone out there who's wondering, wait, what's the first worst movie you've seen this year? This is it.
Mm-hmm.
This Abomination made 200. Its total gross domestically is $227 million. And I wish this was its debut because
Nope.
the two worst movies of the year rightfully deserve to be at the bottom of the top 5. Unfortunately, Transformers. God damn you, America. God damn you, America and China for making this a hit.
It's not only America and China. There's still like another 300 million elsewhere. It's just humanity as a collective whole loves Transformers.
Well, where's the bulk? Where is the majority of that money coming from?
It's coming from people like I'm about to describe. Because when I went to go see Thursday night,
country-wise.
Oh,
country-wise, where's the?
Oh,
yeah,
China.
America and China.
America and China. That is true.
Yeah.
But when I went to go see it, I had my ticket and I got in, I didn't buy it. I got in free because they gave me back a free movie ticket, so I just went ahead and used it again. And got in.
You saw
and
it
they were like,
twice?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I used a free movie ticket on 22 Jump Street, and then I used it again because they handed it back to me. I was like, okay. So I didn't pay $1 for it, but this person comes behind me in like a bro tank. He's huge muscles and aviator sunglasses, and is like, "There's no line for Transformers IMAX!" Yes! And goes and buys his ticket $17.95 and gets in line. And him and like 12 other people out dressed just like him were all hyped up for this new Transformers.
Oh my God. This is the
What?
Yeah, I have no comment for that. It's too stupid to even voice my opinion on.
And then a movie that is doing good, although it debuted, it was at number 15. That's because it was in such little theaters. Was Boyhood with 1.1 million. It was in 33 theaters with a pretty good per theater average. I know I've seen it, and I think you saw it yesterday, right?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And for every shitty fake sex tape there is, there's always something moving and realistic as Boyhood, even though there is no movie like Boyhood out there.
Yeah, I saw it right before I went on vacation, and it was refreshing because it was a screening, but there was the theater literally only had like 50 seats, and only like 25 people showed up.
Okay,
so
well,
like, awesome.
that's expected. That's kind of expected for a movie with that small of a release.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. I was only surprised because I've seen like Legend of Hercules. Its pre-screening was sold out, and there's no empty seats.
Yeah. Speaking of Hercules.
Yeah. Oh, damn! Those transitions. This
I tap on the left and hit with the right.
This week's releases, we have the other Hercules film that comes out this year, directed by Brett Ratner.
The Rat.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. What?
Hercules, Hercules. I said the rat. Huh?
Oh, the rat. Oh, okay. Uh, I my screening for this got canceled. I had tickets Thursday night, and they're like, "Sorry, we got canceled in Oregon." And I'm like, "Well, I probably won't see it then,
Hmm.
unless I hear
I'm
really good things, which I doubt I will."
I'm seeing it. And
That's
luckily this is one. This is one I. Well, yeah. Luckily I've a way to get in this time.
yay. I don't know. I think this could actually make some money. I know like the industry projections like 21 million, but
Hmm.
because when I was visiting family, I had my uncle and his girlfriend were like, oh yeah, they love action movies and they're excited to see Apes and they're excited to see Hercules, and I was like, why are you excited to see Hercules? And they're like, well, it has Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I was like, but it's by the same guy who directed X-Men 3, and I was like, whatever, it might be good. I don't
And
care.
Tower Heist.
Yeah. And then so then I asked them if they're excited for Guardians of the Galaxy, and they had never heard of it.
Well, of course no one's heard of. Well, no one who's big on comics or nerd stuff has heard of Guardians of the
Well,
Galaxy.
yeah, no, what I'm talking about is they didn't even know the movie was coming out.
Oh, okay.
It comes out in like 2 weeks. That's what I felt was somewhat alarming, but they didn't seem like they'd be into Marvel movies because when I mentioned it was a Marvel movie, they both went like, "What, you?" And I was like, "Okay,
We're
whatever."
DC
You guys,
fans.
yeah. Uh, then speaking of Marvel stuff, Lucy comes out some more Marvel movie, but if this does well at the
which
box,
has
it
which
means
has nothing to do with Marvel outside
no,
of Scarlett Johansson being in
well,
it.
I was gonna
Who is
say,
Black Widow?
well, if Lucy does well at the box office, it means that the heavily rumored Black Widow movie has a better chance of being greenlit because it shows that Scarlett Johansson can, uh, star in an action film and have it do well and
Well,
carry the movie.
well, it's not like she proved it already with Iron Man 2, Avengers, and Captain America 2.
Yeah, but she wasn't the main lead. They had all male leads, and she was a supporting character. There's a rumored like Black Widow, just Black Widow movie, which I'd see it because it's Marvel if they were to release it.
I I would prefer her guest starring on Agents of Shield here and there, but because I don't know if Black Widow as a character has enough power to carry her own movie.
Yeah, what I think they would do is have it be Black Widow and Hawkeye together and do like
So
Shield stuff or
so
whatever.
Budapest movie. So Budapest movie.
Sure. Okay.
Just like Budapest all over again. You and I remember Budapest very differently.
I'm really confused, but that's okay.
You don't remember that little exchange from the Avengers?
No, I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh wait, yeah, that's
What
right. I
during
remember
like
that.
when the Battle of New York just starts?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, when that battle goes on, I usually like I don't even pay attention to dialogue at that point. It's just like Hulk destroy stuff.
Well, that was before the Hulk came out.
It was. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm doing a Marvel marathon right now. I'm gonna start with the Iron Man tonight, so I'll look out for that line when I get to Avengers.
Okay.
Uh, now we have And So It Goes. Isn't this the Michael Douglas movie?
I
I
have no
saw.
idea.
I'm pretty sure because I saw. There was like 12 screenings or something huge like that in my area, and
Uh,
I'm like I don't want to get up and drive to the theater to go see this. Yeah, it is. It's in stars Michael Douglas and
oh, is he
someone
where
else.
he's that real estate guy?
Yeah, it stars
Yeah, because
him and Diane Keaton.
I keep saying bus stops, bus benches that have that on as if it's like a real estate. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Michael Douglas, huh?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know enough about it to
I don't
care,
know anything
honestly.
about that. And someone else I know nothing about the Fluffy movie.
No comment.
I think it is this Gabriel something is I
It's
don't
some
know.
comedian.
Yeah, I've seen the poster, but that's all I've seen. And then a movie called A Most Wanted Man that was like I think it had a good
That
yeah, it has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and it's Philip Seymour Hoffman's one of his funny
oh
movies.
that yeah the movie that our audience will not give two shits about. Huh?
Probably. Yeah. But things that they will give two shits about is our first news story. We got our first photos
Nerds.
released of Avengers: Age of Ultron. There was entertainment cover, which had Iron Man and Captain America next to their Ultron in the background or behind them, and then the background were like
Just a
robots.
bunch of Ultron drones.
hmm I thought it was pretty cool cover. I thought it was cool how Captain America has been elevated to like the number two guy in the Avengers
Well, I
because
think.
of how well Captain America Winter Soldier did.
I mean, let's like. I'm sure he was equal to Iron Man anyway, because I mean, when you look at it through a mainstream person, like yeah, Iron Man is more popular, but in terms of like Avengers logic, it's
Oh
only
yeah.
fair that he and Captain America are equal.
Oh yeah, and the Avengers logic. I was just talking.
Because
This is the marketing material that they're using to get people hyped for the
right.
film.
Well, I'm sure they might have planned to do that anyway because Iron Man may have been maybe the person that's financing everything,
hmm
but Cap's the leader. He's the soldier. He knows how to make a war strategy, and he's damn well good at it.
Yeah, I thought the it was. I don't know. I also think that having them two at the front will hint towards there'll be a Tony Stark Captain America conflict because spoilers for Winter Soldier. Uh, Captain America spent that movie like against spying and making stuff to kill people, and then Iron Man's gonna create Ultron. They confirm that to basically do the
Well, let's
same
let's
thing
not let's not go far
with Shield.
into. Okay, well, basically what I heard is that Ultron's origin is pretty much the same as it is in the comics, except you just take out Hank Pym and replace him with Tony Stark.
hmm Yeah, Steven's not here and he's our comics guy.
Yeah.
I just and then Ultron looks cool.
Yeah, and Ultron has a big difference between this and the comics. In the comics, he would always do this,
No, you would.
and in the movie, he's now doing this, or at least that's what the entertainment cover looks like. Ultron evolves, so he'll probably go
Oh,
through
okay.
different looks. He'll probably go through different looks as the movie goes on.
Okay. Then we have a picture with Captain America and Thor. They have new costumes.
You think
Looks
so? Because
cool.
I mean, Caps looks different, but Thor is he looks like Thor from Thor: The Dark World.
I don't know. That's just what the caption said on the picture from the website I took it
Oh.
from. Said it had new costumes. I don't know. It probably changed just a little bit. Not much. They
And
both
also,
look good.
and I don't get. Isn't Thor supposed to be a woman now? No, I'm,
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know it's just in the comics. Huh?
Yeah. Black Widow has shorter hair again.
Not much of a
Not
fuck
much of a
given there.
difference. No.
No.
Hawkeye has a new costume with an explosion behind him. I
Well,
don't know if
that's
it's gonna
been
be
that's
different. It's
been.
happened at Transformers
Wait,
audience.
what? Oh,
Maybe
jeez.
with an
Don't
explosion behind
even
them.
just because something has an explosion, people automatically assume it's related to Transformers. God damn it, Michael Bay.
Uh,
He's just running from something.
yeah. I don't know. What's your opinion on the new costume? I think it looks okay. I
Uh,
I prefer
uh,
the previous one.
it looks like they took the costume from. It looks like they made a kind of costume similar to the 616 comics, or at least images that I've seen of Hawkeye when he's not in the Ultimate Universe. So
Okay.
it looks
Oh
cool.
yeah.
I prefer the Ultimate look, but it looks fine.
Yeah. And then we get our first look, at least in this film, there in Winter Soldier, of
Well,
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
first look that's not set photos, like
Yeah.
photos taken when they were actually filming by non-professionals.
Mhm. I think Scarlet Witch looks really good. I think her costume is makes a lot of sense because the comic look wouldn't look practical in a real setting. And then
I
I think
guess.
Quicksilver's costume looks okay. It looks kind of cheap from what I see, but we also all thought that Bryan Singer's Quicksilver looked ridiculous and it was awesome, and I'm gonna have faith in Joss Whedon. So
Well, then again, there's the fact that when there's just a still of a costume, you can't really judge it until
Yeah.
you've seen it in action. Because I know people when the first Thor came out, I know people who bitched to no end about the Thor costume looking like crap, huh? And then once they saw it in action, it was like, oh, well, that actually looked damn good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe they'll do some post production stuff, but yeah, they fixed the hair because the very first image I saw of Quicksilver on the set of Age of Ultron, his hair looked like a wet mop.
Mhm. Yeah.
So there's that.
I'm a fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson. I love the Kick-Ass movies, so I'm really excited that he's in
Yeah,
this. Um,
I'm just hoping he does a little better than he did in Godzilla.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
I think he will.
I'm one of those. I'm not one of those people who thought he did bad in Godzilla. It's just
Damn.
everyone else did a better job, and he is being upstaged by a giant monster.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think
one
that he
thing.
did a bad job on Godzilla either. He did fine. It's just the script wasn't the
Yeah,
best.
especially when you compare to Charlie Hunnam in Pacific Rim. Out of the two leading men in those kaiju movies, he did the better job, I thought.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I could at
Yeah.
least remember more than actually. I probably remember the same amount of characters from Pacific Rim and Godzilla. If not like one more from Pacific Rim, just because there were more characters in that movie.
Right.
Um,
Speaking of two leading men.
yeah, we have the Science Bros, as the internet likes to call them, Tony Stark and Mark Ruffalo. That's the
Yeah.
other. I don't know. Probably be a pretty fun scene. Their interactions were some of the best parts of the first film, and
Yeah.
they're gonna add on to it, and I'm pretty excited for it because I want to see the
Yeah.
Hulk again.
I could just imagine if Philip was still here, he would probably cut himself hearing us talk about this.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, "It's not a standalone movie. It's terrible.
Oh my.
It's part of a cinematic universe." That'd be Philip.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll keep going on.
Then we have the last picture is Captain America, Hawkeye, Tony Stark, and Don Cheadle's character are all
Yeah, James Rhodes.
James Rhodes. Okay.
Yeah.
They're all in a
Yeah,
room.
we got Steve Rogers, Clint Barton, Tony Stark, and James Rhodes all together.
Okay, thank you. They're in a room. Looks like they're gonna have a party or talk about stuff.
So, yeah, to quote Deadpool in Lego Marvel, sure ain't no party like a Tony Stark party.
Yeah. Those are the set photos. I think that they're all pretty, or not set photos, the official stills. I think they're all pretty cool, and it just makes me more excited for the movie.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I mean, we'll definitely hear some more news out of Comic-Con this week.
Oh yeah, like this is the stuff that they announced like the week before Comic-Con. So that means that they have some pretty big stuff up their sleeve for
Yep.
Comic-Con because they could have easily just shown these pictures and been fine at Comic-Con
Yeah,
probably.
that's true. And something that probably will not be shown at Comic-Con this year at least.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Episode VII is the other.
Dun 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 dun!
It's the other Disney super anticipated film of 2015. J.J. Abrams has revealed that the X-Wing will be in Star Wars Episode VII, like a video today.
Okay, I'm gonna be one of those guys. I wish I had bigger nerd glasses because okay, I gotta get in the nerd voice. That's not an X-wing.
It's not? Okay.
No, to be specific, like it looks like a hybrid of the X-wing and a ship from the expanded universe, the Z-95 Headhunter.
Can you hold it up more?
That's
Okay. I'll put
and
you.
then yeah, because the ship that JJ showed didn't have the S foils that the X-wing has.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to argue about the color scheme because doesn't matter, but it looks like it could be a hybrid of the X-wing and the Z-95 Headhunter.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. I wasn't sure. That's just what I gathered from the thing. from the video.
Right. Well,
Uh,
I mean, it helps that in the way Steve is a comic guy, I'm helpful to be the Star Wars guy.
oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So now that Godzilla has already came out, you're gonna shift your expertise to Star Wars Episode VII for the next year and a half.
Probably, but there's also part of me that wants to kind of keep. I mean, if I have to give like facts about Star Wars that no one else would know but me, I'll do it. But in terms of Episode VII, I would rather like the less I know, the better.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I'm gonna try my best to avoid the trailers. It's gonna be impossible, but I'm gonna try not to watch it. Trailer.
See, even like with me saying I want to know as little as possible, I would be lying to myself and say I'm avoiding the trailer because you cannot avoid the trailer for Star Wars Episode VII or just a new Star Wars movie in general.
Well, if I go to see a movie and it shows, I'll just like do this and just think about, I don't know, Batman, Superman, which gets spoiled every week.
Damn it. That still will not help. That still won't hide the fact that you're hearing stuff. Huh?
Yeah, I know. It spoiled some stuff in trailers, but it's mainly like it's easier to remember something if you connect it to an audio and a visual, not just the audio. I found.
Well, since it's J.J. Abrams, hopefully there won't be much to be spoiled.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Or at least plot-wise. Huh?
Yeah, he seems to try to keep most things under wraps pretty well. And then, speaking of something that wasn't under wraps pretty well, Badass Digest got their hands on an early draft of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was... So this is
2 months after it came out. Huh?
Yeah, 2 months after it came out, so maybe it was under wraps well. But there were some things that they changed from this early draft to the final draft, and I think it's worth going over. Mary Jane.
Well, I mean, one of the things we knew. You have the list, but one of the things, if I could just say right off the bat, are the Mary Jane sequences with Shailene Woodley and the Peter under surveillance and the attack on Oscorp before the death of Gwen Stacy.
I'm not even sure if the attack on Oscorp was even in the script.
Well, I think they shot some footage of that.
Oh yeah, they shot all that, but
yeah.
I'm not sure that was in the original script or not. But what was Mary Jane was in the movie, and before spoilers, Gwen Stacy gets killed off.
I love how you say spoilers to something I just said without alerting people to spoilers. And
I didn't
okay, if you don't know that Gwen Stacy dies in something, come on. Huh? That's like, I'm not talking to you specifically, but to the audience. Mm-hmm. That's like the most iconic. That's one of the most iconic things in comic books. So that's like one of those things that's so iconic that it expands beyond comic knowledge.
Mm-hmm. I just thought I might as well throw it out there, because this whole section will have minor spoilers, but it's not
for all 2 people who haven't heard of it.
So MJ's in the movie, and then before Gwen goes off to die, she stops by Peter's house, and then her and MJ talk, and she says, MJ says that she always attracts dickheads, and asks Gwen for what her advice is to get a guy like Peter, which she responds, date a nerd, Gwen says before heading off to die, basically giving MJ the okay to get with Peter. That was in Electro's mom was in the script, which I found that's really weird. Basically, Max Dillon lives at home, and his mom is wheelchair bound, and he has to help her out. And then when he dies in the accident that gives him his powers, he goes back to his house, and his mom is standing up.
You can't die and then go back to your house after you die.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know that he had allegedly died. It was just that Oscorp thought he did, so they were giving his mom a ton of money, and his mom was standing up. So that's what makes Electro freak out, and then he goes to Times Square, and then that scene happens. J. Jonah Jameson.
That's still so hearing that still doesn't. Let's say hearing that still doesn't make a whole lot of sense of why exactly he turned evil.
Oh yeah, I thought it's still really bad. But I don't know, it was in the script. J. Jonah Jameson is in the movie. He got cut, or I guess it says Daily Bugle, and it was like an email or something from him. But that's all. It's
that was in the movie.
Yeah, that was in the movie. It was just that, but he actually showed up because Peter gave him the Spidey photos.
I'm glad they didn't because I'm glad they didn't do that because it's very, very hard to imagine anyone else in that role besides J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Like when that, like in the movie when that email popped up. I was gonna say when that email popped up, like when JJ responded, I read it in J.K. Simmons' voice.
Oh yes, same. Then Peter's blood in the original script, Peter actually gives Harry his blood, which then Harry injects the spider venom and becomes Goblin. I think that's a much better method than the way they went about it, than him just having the stuff in his house or Oscorp or whatever it was. Dr. Kafka is actually in Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the original script. He was the guy that died in the deleted scenes for the first film. He was the guy that was in the car during the lizard attack scene on the bridge, and his car got thrown. His car got thrown off a bridge. Well, apparently he survived, and he was in.
I didn't think did he die in the first one? I don't remember.
He died in a deleted scene.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Get your shit together, Sony.
Yeah, but he was in the movie. Not really doesn't really do much. There's a 1-year time jump in the original script from when they graduate high school to when the rest of the movie starts, which makes a lot more sense because of all the college stuff. Okay, death of Gwen Stacy. Now these next two things are really stupid. So the death of Gwen Stacy is handled a lot different, or it's handled basically the same way, except for she doesn't die upon contact. She barely holds on to tell Peter to never give up. And then the very next scene, Peter gives up being Spider-Man.
So she would die off screen, no?
No, she wouldn't die off screen. It was like she's barely holding on. Peter is like holding her, but she's still alive. And then Gwen says, "Peter, never give up," and then she.
That doesn't sound too bad.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's better the way they handled it.
I've expressed how I feel about the Gwen Stacy death, so I'm not gonna get into it again. Okay.
And then we have the amazing ending that I'm just gonna read straight off badassdigest.com because I have to say everything to tell you how amazing this is.
Mm-hmm.
The finished film has a terrible bit at the end where Peter quits Spider-Man for a bunch of months, and then this time passes by in a montage. The same thing happens here, but instead of finding a tape of Gwen's super on-the-nose graduation speech, Peter is approached by his dad. Yes, Richard Parker shows back up at the end of the script and tells Peter he's been watching him for years. He's seen him become Spider-Man and everything. It's Richard who convinces Peter to become Spider-Man again, and in the last scene of the movie, he tells Pete, quote, "With great power comes great responsibility."
Makes me that is bullshit to beyond the stars, pretty much. To bullshit and beyond. Makes me pray to God that story of the Sinister Six being canceled is true.
I'm sorry, I just find it so hilarious. But I mean, if they had thought this and they'd be like, "No, that's stupid," whatever. And apparently someone thought it was stupid enough to cut it out of the script, thankfully. But this was in a finished script that they turned into the studio.
I don't, well, I don't know. Sony's just, ugh. I don't know. What else is there? I'm getting more pissed off thinking about this series.
Well, I'm just gonna skip the next story because there's a better segue to the one after, and then we'll come back. One of the writers of this draft, Alex Kurtzman, has been hired along with Chris Morgan to helm the Monsters cinematic universe for Universal.
Wait, where is this? I don't see it on.
It's number 5.
Oh.
Because the writers, I forgot, I put
in the
wrong place. So then you're gonna have the writer of Transformers, Star Trek, and Amazing Spider-Man.
One of those movies is actually good. Huh?
He's gonna help write the Monsters Cinematic Universe series, but don't worry because we have Chris Morgan to help ground him a little bit, who has wrote Fast 5, 6, and 7.
That is, you and I have very different definitions of grounding.
It was sarcasm.
I know.
Okay. Well.
But I
don't care at all.
I'm literally at a loss for words. I mean, I understand why Universal would hang on to Chris Morgan for anything because the last 2 Fast and the Furious movies have made a shit ton of money. And I don't know, like this is I think it's kind of interesting that Universal is deciding to revive their Universal Monsters. I just like it seems a bit cliched or head beating that they'd start with the Mummy again.
Yeah.
Because like the Mummy's had his time to shine, huh?
I mean, I'm gonna see the movies if they come out. I was gonna hope that they were gonna be like all horror type movies.
That's what I'm hoping, that they're all more horror oriented than I don't know,
explosions and car chases.
Right.
But it's most likely to be the latter. But then at least something that I think we can get behind. The Rock has confirmed that he will be in the DC Cinematic Universe. He has not said who he's gonna play, but he said the following quote: "There's a character out there that we're gonna announce soon." He revealed. He has the power of Superman, and it's not the Green Lantern, by the way. Believe me, Jon Stewart. He's a character who I wanted to play, but there was already a version of Green Lantern. So
and
now
it sucked.
Yeah. So now we've gone in a slightly different direction, but this character has the power of Superman. He can throw down. Just say the word. That's all I'm going to say. He's
Shazam!
He's hinting at playing Shazam, which would align with that one DC lineup story that came out coming out in 2016, the Shazam movie. I'm excited The Rock will be in the DC Cinematic Universe because I think The Rock is a really good action star. He's one of the few working today that can sell a movie on his own.
Yeah, it's true, but does anyone really care to give a shit about Shazam before Justice League, before Wonder Woman and Flash and Green Lantern get movies? Is DC really
going to be in the same universe? That's the only reason.
Does DC really think that's like if Marvel had all the rights to all their superheroes and they started with Spider-Man? And then they just decided to move on straight into Guardians of the Galaxy. Like no one outside of comic book people have heard of Shazam.
Yeah, that's true. When I first heard Shazam was gonna get a movie, most likely, the first thing that popped in my head was that crappy Shaquille O'Neal movie from the
That's
90s.
Kazam.
Yeah, I realize it's Kazam now, but first thing I thought of was really? They're gonna remake the Shaq movie?
You are so naive. Come on, DC, just get. Why don't you just make a Wonder Woman movie right after? How about this? Why don't you? I'm still under the idea that that lineup is bullshit.
Oh yeah, same. I don't think it's true.
So so I don't know. I don't care about the DC cinematic universe. It's not, and like I haven't given up on it. It's just like they haven't, like this first movie hasn't, it didn't have the punch that the first Iron Man did. So
Hmm.
they still have yet to prove themselves to be a franchise that I can be excited for.
Okay, yeah, yeah, fair enough. I'm really excited for Batman Superman, but no, I'm probably actually I'm pretty sure most people are excited for it, but
Well,
there's a very vocal minority that's like not excited for it, I think.
let me say this about Batman vs Superman. I, like any other person in the world, wants to see this. And not only do I
Hmm.
want to see it, not only do I want to see Batman and Superman on the screen in live action together, but I also want it to be good. But with Man of Steel, I honestly don't think it's going to happen.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I know you have a different opinion on Man of Steel. It's just
Yeah, we've gone over this a
like,
little.
and given that Zack Snyder is going to go on to do Justice League, it seems like DC is not allowing other directors a chance to go on this franchise. Huh?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I just think that they didn't have a plan when Man of Steel, but like pre
Right.
Man of Steel, and they're getting bitten in the ass because of it.
I'm still convinced that they don't have a plan.
I think they have a plan at this point. They just haven't revealed it yet.
They're like Peter Quill, where they have 12% of a plan.
Yeah, they have Batman, Superman, and they have Justice League, and they have Justice League 2
They,
eventually.
I don't know.
That's their 12%. They don't know when the Green Lantern, Flash, Martian
No,
Manhunter probably won't even happen. But
no, their 12% is Batman vs Superman, um, Justice League, and then they're gonna whore out Batman as they've done over and over again.
probably, but
Because
I'll still be super stoked for a new Batman movie, especially if Ben Affleck's directing.
I some reason I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but apparently there's been a story that Ben Affleck is not happy with his costume.
Oh, he's not?
Like they I now this is only rumor because I don't have a link or anything, but I heard somewhere that Ben Affleck tried shooting a scene with the costume and you could barely move in it. It's like the very first Godzilla in 1954 where the suit actor could barely move in the costume. So
Hmm.
the fact they might have to make modifications. Well, I mean, they might make modifications but keep the design. But I don't know. It's just a technical fuck up. Not gonna blame anyone but the costume designers.
Hmm. Our next story, X-Men First Class writers Ashley Miller and Zach Stentz will write the Power Rangers movie with Roberto Orci as executive producer. This makes me more excited for the Power Rangers movie because I love X-Men First Class.
I have no opinion on this. I never grew up with Power Rangers. It's funny for coming from someone who loves Godzilla and Gamera. I've always found the Power Rangers to be kind of silly.
Oh yeah, they are. I think
And,
that
and again, and again, this is coming from someone who loves the Godzilla and the Gamera movies, which most of them are silly in their own way.
hmm I'm excited. Or I'm not really excited, but I'm more excited than I was before. I heard Power Rangers movie and I got super hyped, and then I realized that it's not just a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and I was like, damn it, okay. Because I actually grew up on it. I grew up watching the like 20 TV shows that they had for Power Rangers. Will it do well at the box office? Probably not. But if they could have it be like a modern day, cooler, hipper version, that might be decent. I don't know. I'm not. I don't
See,
know.
that's
It has more promise because at least it has talent.
Well, well,
Roberto
except
Orci.
this movie hasn't even gone through casting or director duties yet, so we'll have to wait
Yeah.
and see if they stay by that.
hmm Then next story we have Daniel Radcliffe. His next movie Horns got a teaser poster, and I think it may have gotten a trailer. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
What
he
was
had a
it? What
teaser
was the movie
poster.
about? Huh?
I have no idea. I just saw the poster and I was like, okay, there's horns.
Let me look at it.
I think
Yeah,
it
I've
might be.
never heard.
I think it might be a young adult novel, maybe.
God
Not
damn it!
100% sure.
When will this adult novel trend end? When will this young adult?
Wait, this came out 2013. What? Oh no, it comes out 2014. It says
So
2013
this
next to
year.
it. Yeah, it comes out this year. In the aftermath of his girlfriend's mysterious death, a young man awakens to strange horns sprouting from his temples.
Okay.
I the poster I think looks cool, and if I love the movie, I would think the poster would be a cool thing to have on my wall.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's nothing amazing, but I've seen much worse posters. The X-Men First Class posters were much worse than this.
Those were probably the worst posters I've ever seen.
They were so terrible.
Yeah.
Then I'm not sure if you're excited about this, but I'm excited about the Uncharted movie. Has been set to film in early 2015, according to director Seth Gordon. He says the script, quote, just got to a really good place, and it's going to honor the mythology of the game, but I would say honor some of the most interesting stuff from the first one and build from there. There's some stuff that isn't in the game, so it's not going to be a direct, what am I trying to, a direct adaptation of the first game, which I think might be an improvement because there were things that happened in Uncharted 1 that I thought were kind of stupid. And the
Hmm.
plot is okay, but I think if they cut all the stupid parts, just making like a 2-hour adventure film, I think the movie can be great.
Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I'm not excited because it's a video game movie. No video game movie has ever been good. So that's just me, and I know Steve is not looking forward to this at all because of Seth Gordon, who did Identity Thief as his last movie.
hmm But he also did King of Kong and Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, yeah, but
Well, I
that's
haven't
a
seen.
documentary and another comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might do an okay job because if he made a documentary about Donkey Kong, he probably loves video games. I'm not sure if he's played Uncharted. I'm sure he probably has if he's directing the movie. And I don't know.
Well,
Uncharted,
who's
you
distributing
can.
the movie?
I would
Is it?
assume Sony because it's PlayStation
Okay, I'm out.
exclusive.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm excited
Whatever.
because at least I've only played the first two Uncharted games. I love them both. If you actually look right there is my Uncharted 3 Collector's Edition that I got for $30 at Best Buy on sale one day. I
I
love,
think I see it.
yeah, it's I have my Bioshock Infinite Collector's Edition, and then to the right of it, or to the left
Hmm.
of it, is Nathan Drake, and behind it's the box that came in.
Okay.
I'm really excited about it because there are moments in Uncharted 2 that I literally thought were better action pieces than almost every action movie I've seen. And
Hmm.
if they literally just like take what Naughty Dog made and make it live action, then the movie will be great. Because you're just playing a movie the entire time.
Well, it will definitely be groundbreaking because it'd be the first good video game movie made. But
hmm
I mean,
Yeah,
if it
and
took a long time, I would say if it took a long time for comic book movies to actually be good, then
hmm
hopefully there's a good idea for a video game movie. It's just when you have people like Paul W. Anderson who keep making Resident Evil movies, that hope gets
yeah.
thinner and thinner.
hmm Our next story is Big Hero 6 got its first trailer. this is the Disney animation follow-up to the highly successful Frozen. I saw a
And the
trailer.
highly overrated Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen's overrated. I mean, I still love the movie, but it's way overrated. I think Big Hero 6, the trailer I thought was pretty good. I laughed. The animation's beautiful. I'm gonna see it. My only complaint is I guess they didn't show any of the other team. They only showed Baymax and the lead character that's like a young Tony Stark, basically.
Mm.
Did
I'm just gonna keep my. I'm just keep. Huh?
Did you get a chance to see the trailer?
I saw it, and I'll keep it short and sweet. It was cool.
Yeah.
I really have nothing else to say outside of that.
Yeah, it's just the usual Disney teaser. It doesn't tell you much about the movie. Actually, this one tells you a lot more than the teaser trailer did, because at least we know there's a villain, going after a villain. They haven't recruited the rest of the team. They've shown pictures of the team, and I think the team looks fantastic. I'm super excited for this movie because it's just a Marvel movie, but animated.
Yeah.
It's based on a Marvel comic book.
Making it the only year where we get 5 Marvel movies, even though 3 of them aren't made by Marvel themselves.
Okay. And then, speaking of Disney Animation and Frozen, one of the biggest recipients, and one people that have gained the most from Frozen is Josh Gad, and his next movie is Pixels, and we have our first look at the main characters in Pixels. Yeah, Peter Dinklage, Josh Gad, Michelle Monaghan, and Adam Sandler.
I was gonna say the cinematic cancer himself, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, if you're judging it by a still, it looks. Whatever.
You can't really judge it by that one picture.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just a picture basically.
I wonder how the marketing team is gonna try to market that Olaf from Frozen is in this movie. Will they make a joke about it?
They are not.
I would bet that they're gonna try because of how much Frozen made and how popular Frozen is.
But he was just a voice in Frozen. They are not gonna. And this is probably not even Disney. Why would they in their right mind associate Frozen with this movie? Yeah, I mean Josh Gad's in it, but so what?
I think that if it feels shoehorned in the marketing campaign, they'll be really stupid. But if they can find a clever way to remind people, oh, this is the guy who played Olaf, they will make more money because people that won't see a movie.
They won't. Most people who've seen Frozen don't even care who Josh Gad is.
Oh yeah, but most people that see Frozen came out saying Olaf is one of the best parts of the movie.
Well, that's not going to change the marketing for that's. Why would you even think something like that? It's not going to happen. There's no way in hell that they're going to even associate Frozen with this possible piece of shit. And I'm only saying that because Adam Sandler is there.
I'm not saying it should. I'm saying the marketing team would be smart to try to remind people that Josh Gad played Olaf because it might bring a different audience. Well, I don't know, but it would be a smart move by the marketing team if they can find a clever way to pull it off.
Well, keep dreaming that because it ain't happening.
Okay. Well.
Something. Okay, you know what? I know next on the notes it says Blu-ray release, but there's actually one other story that I wanted to touch on. Okay. Something really, really controversial. Speaking of something that that people should not. Like, people want to have their hopes up for, but with every bit of news that comes out, it's making it more difficult. The Fantastic Four. Big story came out from the new Johnny Storm, Michael B. Jordan, who said, this comes from comicbooknews.com, the Fantastic Four will not be wearing costumes. The Fantastic Four won't be referred to as the Fantastic Four. The cast doesn't like to read comics, but that doesn't matter as the plot has nothing to do with the comics anyway. And now it's learned the Fantastic Four aren't even superheroes. According to Jordan, he said, Josh Trank's vision is very clear, and he knows exactly what he wants, and he gives us room to adapt and to play. That's what I kind of think sets us apart, is that this is going to be grounded and unconventional. It's not your typical superhero movie, you know. We aren't looking at this like being superheroes. We're more or less a bunch of kids that had an accident and we have disabilities now that we have to cope with and try to find a life afterwards. Try to be as normal as we can. In other words, this is Fox and Josh Trank holding out two giant middle fingers to one of the most established Marvel properties ever.
I'm pretty sure when this story broke, I was the only one I just didn't care at all.
Yeah. In all honesty, my enthusiasm for this movie has just declined with every bit of news. And when I heard this, I was just like, "What are we trapped in the days of Halle Berry's Catwoman?" Like this does not sound. Ugh. Like, why don't they just turn this into Chronicle 2? If that's the case.
To maintain the rights to Fantastic Four, that's why.
Someone made somebody said that an argument could be made towards Marvel that since they're veering as far away from the property as possible, that could mean they're not using the rights outside of the name.
Well, then they're still using the rights then.
Well, oh my
if
God.
they're using the name.
Yeah, it's like
it means that they won't revert back most likely. I'm not a lawyer, and I haven't read the contract, but I'm pretty sure that since this movie is in development and it's at least loosely based on the Fantastic Four, even it's just
name
being
only.
called Fantastic Four. And it still counts. Just like how no one can make a movie based on World War Z because Brad Pitt's movie came out, and he owns the rights.
That comparison just flew over my head. But this new Fantastic Four movie, I'm under the impression that it was doomed before it even started.
I mean, I think the direction they're coming at it from, with them being given powers and having to adapt to everyday life, could be interesting. I'm a fan of Miles Teller. I'm a fan of Kate Mara. I'm a fan of Michael B. Jordan. I don't even remember the fourth guy who's playing the
Jamie Bell.
Jamie Bell. I've never seen him in anything.
Billy Elliot.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a fan of whoever that guy is playing Mr. Fantastic. He does not look like. Yeah, he does not look like Mr. Fantastic property.
Have you seen his stuff in the Spectacular Now?
I have, and he should probably stick to that.
I thought he was great in that movie.
Yeah, but this is not Spectacular Now. This is a piece of shit Fantastic Four movie that, if there is any chance of a Fantastic Four movie being worse than the ones that came out with Jessica Alba and Chris Evans, then this is it right here.
Wasn't this wasn't this written by the same person who wrote Days of Future Past, though? Yeah, it was.
It did, but yeah, Simon Kinberg, I think. But
Kinberg.
Yeah, but that, I don't know. This is like veering too far away from the property that it's not even considered the property.
Yeah, well, it happens to a lot of stuff. Like World War Z did the same exact thing, and I thought World War Z was a lot better.
Well, we're talking specifically about comic books. Like
comic books, yeah.
Yeah, when you get, like, I've said this before. Like, this is like the days of Halle Berry's Catwoman, where, like, that movie was only Catwoman in name only because Halle Berry wasn't even Selena Kyle, and she was like some Egyptian goddess that can talk to cats.
That movie's terrible.
It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Let's move on before my brain explodes.
Okay. Well, I'm still excited. Fantastic Four.
You shouldn't be. Sorry.
Oh
Go
yeah,
go ahead. Go
my
ahead.
my opinion's wrong.
No, it's your opinion. Just if you're
Yeah,
excited for it, that's
my
fine. But I have less faith in this than I do uh, Batman versus Superman.
that's saying a lot because you have very little faith in that movie as well,
Well,
from
as
what
I've
I've
said before,
gathered.
there's a hint of excitement for that, just in the sense of seeing Batman and Superman together on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. I think this movie. I mean, well, could it be bad? For sure, it could be bad. I'm excited to see it, and then if it's terrible and it tanks, the Reds go back to Marvel, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, and then Marvel would be able to properly do Infinity Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Although the Reds wouldn't revert back in time
We'll
because they're gonna
see.
do it because they're going to do it for Avengers 3, which will come out 2018.
You don't know that.
Well, all signs are leading up to that being the
I think
case,
it's
though.
well, Marvel just released a bunch of release dates, and the last one was up to May 2019. So I'm
Oh, it
guessing
was.
that's
Oh,
where
okay. So that'd be
I'm
Avengers.
I'm guessing that's where the third Avengers movie is heading, making phase 3
The
probably the
longest.
longest one.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait,
Yeah,
maybe
I
the
forgot
short.
about that.
No,
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 the
maybe the
longest.
second short. No, because phase 1 was from 2008 to 2012, which was 5 years. They may have more movies, but in terms of a span of number of years, it would be the
Oh,
second
okay.
longest.
Okay. Yeah. The way my brain was working was I was thinking amount of movies
Yeah, yeah. In terms of
be
movies,
longest.
phase 3 would be the longest. In terms of the span of years, phase 1's still the longest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right,
Do
let's move on.
you want to go over the Blu-rays of the week?
Yeah, I'll do that. And I gotta say, this week, in terms of Blu-ray releases, not so good, honestly. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, we do have. We'll start out with the positive Blu-ray release. The Criterion Collection's back again with their release of Insomnia from 1997. Now, this is not Christopher Nolan's remake of Insomnia. This is the original Swedish Insomnia from 1977. It stars Stellan Skarsgård and is about a detective who's trying to hunt down a case, but it's day throughout the entire uh, city. It's bright, so he starts to lose his mind.
Okay.
And yeah, I saw this in my film noir class back when I was in college, and like it really messed my mind because of how like the way the character's hallucinating. You as an audience member start hallucinating also, and
That's cool.
almost go mad. So yeah, Insomnia. It's a good movie. I haven't seen the Christopher Nolan one, but
I haven't
people
either.
have told me people have told me that Christopher Nolan's version is actually like some people have said it's good. Some people have said it's not that good when you compare it to the original.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're a fan, if you're a fan of the Criterion Collection and want to go out and get everything they own, then this is something good to pick up. Two things that are not good to pick up, and I guess it's all downhill from here, is we'll start with Sabotage. Sabotage! Uh, some crappy
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
action movie, yeah, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sam Worthington, Terrence Howard that Steve saw. So it one of those another case where we kind of wish he'd be on here to say how shitty it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really say. It's just a Blu-ray DVD digital copy release. Another movie that apparently was not very good and tanked. Probably one of the bigger bombs this year is Transcendence from Wally Pfister, who's Christopher Nolan's regular cinematographer in his
Mm-hmm.
directorial debut.
So
Again, I didn't see.
this. I didn't see it either.
It's from what I've heard, it's awful. Which I might have to go out of my way and rent it, because I don't feel like I've seen enough movies to make a worst of list until I just throw myself into hell.
Yeah, I'll probably do another thing like I did last year, where I watched like movie 43 among other things, like on one day or on like 3 days. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Now, next up is another movie that makes me scratch my head. Is coming to Blu-ray is Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Last Action Hero, which the reason why this movie makes me scratch my head is because I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's a really good movie. It's awesome. It's funny," and I saw it. And I'm like, "This is bad. Why do you people like this?" I mean, and people have said, like, I always, like, back in the day, whenever people would say, "Oh, Last Action Hero is cool," I was like, "You're being sarcastic, right?" And they're like, "No." Like, really?
Wasn't
I don't know.
that the movie where? Oh, I know. I was thinking of Jingle All the Way, where he has to go and find the action figure, right?
That's the only way you could have made this week of Blu-ray releases worse if Jingle All the Way was being released. But Last Action Hero, it's not that it's awful. It's just this is from the same director who did Predator and the first Die Hard, John McTiernan, and compared to those last two movies, it's just a big misstep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
it's really weird.
yeah, so I got two more releases here I'll talk about. Okay, you know what, really briefly for the Criterion people, there are some other Criterion releases out there this weekend, but there's so many of them that I'm not going to really go into every single release. So
Okay.
you could just look that up for yourself. But moving on, we got Anaconda, a killer snake movie from 1977. 1977. God damn it, 1997. Same year as Insomnia. I've never seen this movie, but it's just a killer animal movie with snakes. And apparently, oh my god, it has Ice Cube in it. Huh? It has Ice Cube and John Voight and Jennifer Lopez. Huh? So you
10 out
know
of
it's a
10.
good movie there.
Oh yeah,
No, I'm sure it was awful when it came out. Huh? But I
probably
mean, if
was.
you
I don't
um,
know. Ice Cube's been good in like 2 movies, maybe 3.
which ones?
21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, and that road trip.
What was the last one? Hello?
I saw when I was like 5, and I thought it was good.
Oh,
Our hello?
yeah, I'm here.
Can you
I
hear
thought
me?
you. Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, the, oh, okay. Oh, the last movie was Are We There Yet? It was like a road trip movie. And I saw it when I was like 5, and I thought it was okay.
Wasn't that crap also?
Most likely because I was 5 and I thought it was okay, not good.
Okay. Um, okay, last up. Now, I actually didn't know that this was being released on Blu-ray this weekend. It might not. This might not be. Okay, apparently it is stated for a Blu-ray release, so I'll just list it. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Probably the goofiest Godzilla movie ever made from the original series. Finally gets a Blu-ray release after 3 years of being delayed.
Was it good?
So it's terrible.
Oh,
But okay, okay. The thing with Godzilla vs. Megalon, it was made at a point when the Godzilla series was in decline, and they were more geared towards kids. And like, there's a lot of stock footage being used from other Toho science fiction movies. The whole movie was reportedly shot in 3 weeks. Probably the shortest
wow.
production schedule for a movie ever.
That's
And
really short.
yeah, but Well, I mean, in the Godzilla movies, you have two directors for each one. You have the guy who takes care of all the human scenes, and then you have the special effects director who directs all of the monster scenes. So that's an easier way for them to keep pumping out more movies for once a year.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But okay, now it's important now in terms of the Blu-ray before we take off. If this actually doesn't come out tomorrow, or at the time of the recording, if it doesn't come out tomorrow, it's going to come out sometime in August, along with Destroy All Monsters, getting its second Blu-ray release. And the important thing to know about Godzilla vs. Megalon, at least this Blu-ray, is the reason it was canceled is because Tokyo Stock, the company who's releasing this Blu-ray, released a Blu-ray of Destroy All Monsters back in 2011. And Godzilla vs. Megalon was supposed to come out on Blu-ray a few months after, but unfortunately, there were some bonus features on the Destroy All Monsters DVD and Blu-ray that were not authorized by Toho, so all of the copies were recalled due to legal issues. I actually do have my DVD copy of Destroy All Monsters with the bonus features, so if you're one of those so when Destroy All Monsters gets its second Blu-ray release, if you're one of those people who hung on to the Destroy All Monsters DVD or Blu-ray with the bonus features, you might want to keep them. Godzilla vs. Megalon, after this whole thing happened, Godzilla vs. Megalon was delayed in terms of its Blu-ray release, but but it was released on DVD, which I own. Bare bones, no bonus features, although there were some rumored copies to have bonus features, including an audio commentary, trailers, and an image gallery. So now with the recent release of the legendary Godzilla back in May, it only seems fair to it seems like a perfect opportunity to release Godzilla vs. Megalon on Blu-ray. So that's the whole spiel for that. And again, if it doesn't come out July 22nd, that'll come out August 25th, I think. So that's all I have to say about Godzilla vs. Megalon, and that's all I have to say about this week's Blu-ray releases. With, again, Godzilla vs. Megalon might not be released this week. It might be released in August.
Okay, that works. I guess it's time to exit out the show and just do our outros. So I'll start. You can find me on youtube.com/theAppleCowProdigy. I'm going to actually start uploading relatively soon. I'm going to work on some videos and such tonight. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, or twitter.com/AppleCowProdigy. That's really it.
He doesn't tweet.
Yeah, I don't tweet at all. Actually, I'm pretty sure I tweeted like 2 months ago, maybe.
Hooray! 2 months ago you tweeted. Okay, you can find me on The Real Mr. Robinson on YouTube. I have links to my Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram accounts on that YouTube page, as well as my second YouTube channel, AlexG8462, which is going to be renamed tonight. So the link will be the same, but the channel will have a different name. And then if you subscribe, you can check me out on Letterboxd.com under the name The Real Mr. Robinson, and check out my written reviews on Geeked Out Nation, where I'll have a written review for Boyhood tonight or tomorrow. And then if you subscribe to my channel, be on the lookout for a new video series I'm starting tomorrow, as well as my own podcasts. So that's coming up.
Cool. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.